Okay, Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. So today we will be talking about the corruption in police, Malaysian Royal Police. So I'm the first speaker. My name is Aida Adil, and we have our second speaker, which is Simon, and our third speaker is Haikal. So, as you know, it's been weighing on my mind actually lately, this deep-seated issue of corruption within the Royal Malaysian Police. As citizens, we are really taught to place our trust in our law enforcement to protect and serve actually. Yet, with so many eyewitness accounts and reports emerging over the years, it feels as if that the sacred trust has gradually eroded, poof, disappear. I keep asking myself, how can we feel safe when the very people we sworn to uphold the law sometimes stray so far away from the duty?
I completely understand your concern, Aidin. In digging deeper into the matter, I came across a 2022 study by Noel Piaton and Sabi that paints an unsettling picture. Their research reveals that the Royal Malaysian Police, along with the Immigration Department, Jabatan Imigrasi Malaysia, and Road Transport Department, as known as Jabatan Pengangkutan Jalan Raya (JPJ), are among of the top government bodies shadowed by corruption. This shows that corruption in law enforcement isn't isolated, but is widespread and deeply rooted. What strikes me is the role that personal factors play, like family influence and personal greed. Officers may be pressured to support their families or simply act of their own self-interest. For example, the most common form of corruption is bribery during traffic stop. Instead of issuing a proper fine, some officers threaten to drivers with jail time unless they agree to pay a bribe. That's what we call it as a duit kopi, especially those driving a luxury vehicle, assuming they can afford to pay more. This unethical practice reflects how power can be used at creating fear and frustration among the public. But sadly, the issue doesn't stop at bribery. It's disheartening how everyday interaction become avenues for abuse and exploitation.
That's really hit home. It made me wonder, are these pressure from personal or family responsibilities, so overwhelming that even those in blue lose their sight of the true calling? It's as if the system is very such a nudge individuals like those police officers toward making unethical choices.
Exactly. There's a systematic push at multiple levels. The pressure to support one family can, unfortunately, become an excuse for misconduct when the temptation of extra income is too strong. This is just isolated wrongdoing. It's a recurring phenomenon that compromises the integrity of our public institutions.
Hearing both of you, I can't help but feel a deep sense of urgency. The issue isn't just about financial corruption, it escalates into matters of life and death. Now, let me share you a heart-wrenching example, which is a tragic case of Siva Balan Subramaniam in 2022. Just an hour after being arrested, he lost his life. This isn't just some distant statistic, it's a catastrophic failure of the duty of care that every detainee deserves. According to the reports, including those referenced by Lyons in 2022, such deaths in custody are merely accidents. They're the results of deliberate acts of torture, including beatings, the application of chili powder, and the range of other brutalities. And as if that isn't enough, there have been multiple alarming accounts of sexual assaults and rape committed by officers while suspects are detained.
Wow, it's harrowing to think that these abuse are not isolated mishaps but part of a broader systematic problem. When the very edge of justice turn into perpetrators of violence and abuse, where does that leave all of us? It breaks down the foundation upon which citizen trust is built.
And that's not even the most serious part of it. Not only do we witness these tragic episodes of brutality, but what compounds the problem is the lack of independent investigations into these cases. When the mechanism meant to check abuse is itself compromised or non-independent, the cycle of misconduct continues unchecked, further eroding public confidence. Now, every case like civil violence sends shockwaves through the community, underscoring the urgent need for external and unbiased oversight.
Yeah, I agree, Haikal. The essence of credible accountability not only allows this practice to persist, but also breeds an environment where even minor incident of corruption spiral into severe violation of human rights. But it makes one wonder what real reform that can be implemented to break this cycle.
Okay, thank you, Aiman. So that's why I believe we must act on several fronts to rebuild our let's say our failing justice system. First, establishing an independent body to investigate police misconduct is very crucial, which is a body free from any government or internal pressure that might taint its judgment. Imagine if every case is subject to transparency and a fair judgment. It will be a major step forward restoring trust. Secondly, is a transparency in police operation is non-negotiable. Every citizen deserve clarity about what happened behind closed doors, especially when lives are at stake. Public access to information would empower communities to hold law enforcement accountable. Such as the case of life and death of the Siva Batlan case. And finally, we must boost education and awareness about citizen rights. When people know the law and understand the standards of ethical behavior expected of public officials, they can demand accountability and push back against abuse of power.
Absolutely, I did. And I believe that involving civil society, such as community groups, activists, and everyday citizens, in monitoring police conduct could serve as an essential check on power. A collaborative effect between the government and the people might create a new culture of accountability.
Yes, Aiman. Empowering local communities and ensuring oversight from independent bodies could create the ripple effect that is needed for a more lasting reform. It's about transforming outrage into action and ensuring that our institutions reflect the values of justice and integrity we hold dear.
So it's in the end, it's about reminding our police force basic to stay true of their duty. That is which is to serve and protect, not to abuse or intimidate. By advocating for independent oversight, transparency, and public empowerment, we can begin rebuilding the broken trust that's so vital to the society. How do you both feel about the role of civil society in this reform process? Could you be more active community involvement be the key to shifting the narrative for the better?
Well, I believe so. Civil society not only act as a watchdog, but also inspire change from the grassroots level. Their involvement ensures that reforms are sustained and that the voice of the many aren't drowned out by those in power.
It's a very complex issue, but one thing is clear. The road to reform begins with open conversation and a commitment to accountability at every level. Together, if we insist on transparency and proactive oversight, we might just steer our institutions back to their intended purpose. There is no simple fix, but every conversation like this builds the momentum for a real change. What are some ways you've seen effective oversight implemented in other sectors or countries? Perhaps exploring those examples could give more insights into how we can tailor reforms right here at home. That is all. Thank you.